Well, it's Stephanie Evelo with the Evelo Team at Keller Realty, and today is our monthly market update. And I've got our special guest that we have each month, our specialist in research, Bob Warner, one of our senior realtor partners, and we're going to take it away. So, Bob, what have we seen happening in September?
Yeah, so we'll just kind of hit what we've been doing for the last several months. A few key metrics that we've been tracking just to kind of help us identify where things stand in the market, right? That's generally speaking the question that we're asked most often as realtors. So first slide up is where that median sales price is for our market. For the month ending September, we were at 280, which is exactly where we were at the end of August. So no change in terms of month over month. But that still is up 12% year over year. But you can see that number's coming down a little bit. So we'll kind of continue to track that and see where that median home price ends up over the next 12 to 24 months. Next up, we've been taking a look at that cumulative days on market. So for the month ending September, the median was 10, which is up a little bit month over month. And then that's actually double, so up 100% over where we were last year. So things are on the market a little bit longer. We've got some other indicators that are going to show us how the market is shifting ever so slightly. Next up is that month supply of inventory or absorption rate. Again, a balanced market is somewhere between that 4 and 6 month window. It's been all the way back since January of 2017, since we've been even at a 4 month. But we are on a steady increase where earlier this year we were at a 0.5 month. Now we're up to 1.3, which is almost a 20% increase over last month. And that's up a little over 81% year over year. So starting to see some changes there. And then the last couple slides, we've been taking a look at the percent of list price received. We've spent most of the last couple years at 100% or above. There have been some spikes here and there, seasonality affected, but for the second month in a row here, we have been under 100 at 98.7, which is down a little bit from last month and down almost 2% from this time last year, when even for the month of September, we were over 100% last year. So we're seeing that change. Two more quick ones here. The number of closed sales in September, that was down almost 9% month over month at 3465, and that's down 13% year over year. And then the last one here, we started tracking this as we see that subtle shift in the market. One of the things you'll see start to pick up steam pretty quickly is the number of price changes, price improvements, price reductions, however you want to characterize them. But you can see there's been a rapid increase there, up 4% again month over month, and up almost a little tick over 82% year over year in that category.
Yeah. Wow. So really starting to see the shift. Really starting to see the shift and change in the marketplace. I know we've seen and felt that even in just showings, right? The number of showing offers or multiple offers or what people are offering. So yeah, we're finally down below 100%, right? On average. So that's a big shift and change. So what does it look like for 1.3 months supply?
So what I've done this month actually is taken a little bit of a change. For the last several months, we kind of had looked at the 5 northern suburbs where we do a lot of business, and we're looking at some various metrics there. But I found it interesting to go back. So back in, I think it was early 2020 was the last time that the market was over 5,000 active listings total. That was kind of always a magic number, right? Every time we log into our database, you kind of see the number of active listings. And when it started creeping below 5,000, people were like, whoa, what's going on here? And we're getting close to 5,000 again. So I decided to start kind of tracking it again this way instead of just looking at those 5 northern suburbs. You can see we were down last year at this time, we had 2,900 listings, and this year we're at 4,600. So that number of active listings for the month ending September is up 57% year over year and up 9% month over month. And it looks like if it's not month ending October, probably month ending November, December, we'll crack that 5,000 mark again for the first time since before the pandemic.
Yeah, and what that shows or tells for me is that all those buyers who have been waiting for the right house or waiting for inventory, like now's the time, right? Like for buyers to be taking a look and being able to find actually what they've been looking for. Because I know many buyers have been on the fence or been looking for, you know, multiple months or even for the past year or two. So this is really a great time for buyers to be out finding what they're looking for. So with the buyer, obviously comes interest rates. So what are the interest rates looking like for buyers?
Yeah, so we've been taking a look at those again, kind of going back on that 5-year curve. So they are definitely up again, started creeping up. They finished last week just a tick under 7% was the average for a 30-year fixed rate mortgage. That is up about 3.8% for the year. So big jump, but from a historical perspective, still pretty low. I think one of the important things to point out, and Steph, you just mentioned about shifting a little bit back towards not entirely being a buyer's market, but definitely more opportunities for buyers, a little bit less competition in terms of the multiple offer, tens of thousands of dollars over list price. Not saying that those things won't happen at all in some circumstances, but that has certainly dwindled as we face kind of rapid inflation at a rate greater than what we've had in the last 40 years. Keeping in mind, even locking it at a 7% interest rate is still fixing what is traditionally your most expensive monthly, you know, expense, and that's housing, right? So you kind of still get locked in as inflation goes up. And so I put this little extra pit in here today, like, you know, buying now with a 7% rate, what are the 3 things that can happen, right? So rates could go down and you could refi to a lower rate. Okay, that's a win. Rates could end up staying about the same. No harm done. You didn't stay on the sidelines. They stayed about the same. And if rates happen to keep rising, right, because we don't know, maybe they're going to keep going up versus coming down. If they keep rising and you lock in at 7%, you'll probably be glad you locked in there, and that's another win. So really, it's kind of win-win draw, right? No matter which way you go, it just kind of, it's the cost of borrowing money and trying to hedge your bets against when you're going to get in. If it's high or low, is a pretty lose-lose proposition.
Yeah, well, yes, and so the moral is just get in the game, right? You can't win if you don't play the game, right? So any final thoughts to share?
Yeah, we always kind of try to share something. We talked a little bit more maybe about buyers today, so just wanted to end still with sellers, right? Ultimately, even though the market is shifting, this is still ultimately meets the definition of a seller's market. You know, it is we're not quite shifting back into balance. We're still far away from that, but still a little bit more favorability to buyers than what it has been for the last 2 years. And so remember that even though listing prices may be stabilizing or going down a little bit over the next few months, that still is considerably higher than what they have been in prior years. And so you're still likely to cash in on that record, you know, levels of equity, especially if you've been in your home a few years. So if you've kind of maybe been on the fence as a seller and thinking either late 2022 or have some plans for the spring of 2023, the market is still good, right, on both sides, and you can capitalize either way. It's really just, you know, sitting down, finding out what your goals and objectives are, and helping to identify whether the market can help you achieve those goals right now.
Yeah. Well, we appreciate all this information. This is great information for whether you're a buyer or a seller, right? To make a smart, wise financial decision in buying or selling a home. So we appreciate that. And of course, if anyone has any additional questions about buying or selling a home or investing, relocating, building, whatever that might look like, we're of course always here and always available to answer any and all questions. And we'd love to chat. And you can reach us either through email, info@eveloteam.com, which will be here in the post, or you can also reach out to our office and call us direct at 317-863-9011. So thank you so much for joining us today. Feel free to call us with any and all questions or email, text, whatever is your preferred communication style. And remember, as always, make each moment count. Thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye.